Hi everyone, welcome to Creative Stampin' Designs. My name is Karen. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Central New Jersey. And we're going to make a card today. I actually combined two different fun fold cards that I've made before into one card. We're going to hope this works because I haven't tried it yet. If you're hopping on, say hi, let me know where you're from. Hey Donna, how you doing? All right, I'm just going to get started. The only thing I want to remind everybody, other than the online exclusives, next week we will be finding out, hey Jamie, hi Carol, thanks for joining. We're going to be finding out we're having a color refresh with Stampin' Up. So we'll be finding out which colors will be leaving, which will be staying. We know the 2021-2023 in colors, they're all leaving. So if those are colors you like, you might want to grab them. But we don't know what other colors. We've been told that there's going to be a refresh, which means some of your favorite colors might be going. Hi, Michelle. Thanks for joining. So we're not sure. We'll find out next week. And once we find out, we're allowed to let you know. All right? I'm going to get started. I pulled out the Flowering Tulips set. And I had this whole card planned out. A great customer of mine, Michelle, sent me a card, and I was going to make the card. And I just ran out of time for doing measurements and all, so I had to change it up. That might be next week's card, but it's really a nice layout. Hi, Renese. Hi, Barbara. It's a fun fold. So that'll be next week. I had to switch it up, change things around. I just ran out of time this week with work. All right, so I have basic white. Let's thick basic. Hang on a minute. I gotta see which one. This is the outside. Okay. We are going to start with a panel of. I made this smaller than I wanted to. I just realized that I made it a 4 by 5 1/4. All right. Well, there's going to be a larger border than I normally put on it. We're going to do our best here. All right, so it's 4 inches by 5 1/4. I am going to cut this in the center at 2 5/8, which is right in the middle. Whoops, as I'm moving everything. And I'm going to cut it up 2 inches. Okay. Now, I know there's an easier way of doing this. I don't know if I'm in the camera. Hang on, I got to just move my stamps out of the way. Okay, so I cut it up 2 inches, and I know there's an easier way of doing this, but I couldn't figure out how. So what I'm doing is I have my pokey tool in the okay, we're just going to go with this because I can't remember what that's called. But right in where the blade goes. And I'm going to line up the corner, and then I'll move the pokey tool, and I'm going to score it up to, and I'm going to hope, it's the only bad thing. All right, so around the 3 1/2 inch. I think I got it all the way there. Like I said, I know there's an easier way of doing this, but this was my easy way of doing it. And we've got to get this back in. Okay, and then we're going to turn it and we're going to score it this way. And again, we're at about 3.5 inch. I think I got it all the way up. Yeah, I did. Okay. We're going to need that cutting thing one more time. I'm going to fold this up on the score line and make sure I'm on that score line there. Okay. Now, I didn't want to color anything. I'm just going to color just a couple of the tulips, the ones that you can see. I didn't want to go coloring anything ahead of time because if you're not going to see them, what's the point of coloring them? I'm just going to color a couple of them in just so it pops a little bit. I don't know how it is by you, but it's in the 60s here today. It's beautiful. I'm not looking up. I'm not coloring. I can't read messages. I'm going to have to go back. All right, and we'll do, what else is going to show? And we'll do this one here. This paper goes with the Cottage Rose. Now this paper is one that will definitely be retiring because I think only one time since I've been a demonstrator a DSP carried over. But the DSP always retires along with all our color packs because they usually change the design. So this is one that will definitely be retiring. And this paper goes with the Cottage Rose. It's part of the, not Cottage Rose Suite. I can't remember the name of the suite, but Cottage Rose is the bundle. Except these are tulips. So I decided to put it with the flowering tulips, which I don't know if it's going to be retiring, but that's one of those sets that have been around. It's been around for a while, so I have a feeling it may be, it may be retiring. Lose my lid, I need that. All right, and I am gonna, just get a glue dot. Just gonna put a glue dot just to hold these two panels down, these two triangles down. And then we're going to adhere this to the card front, which I did not score yet, and I will show you in a little bit why. Usually I have everything scored ahead of time. So we're going to just adhere, I'm going to adhere this, and then I'm going to stamp the sentiment. I'm doing things backwards, but I'm doing them backwards for a reason. But this is really backwards for me. I usually have everything scored, and so, whoops. That's what happens when I don't have things scored. Can't see exactly where it's supposed to go. hang on, we gotta, okay, we're good. So my goal for next week's live is to get all the measurements, and I had the cardstock I had no problem with for the other card. It was the DSP. I needed to get the measurements right, and I just, like I said, I ran out of time. Okay. Then I am going to stamp the sentiment from the Flowering Tulips. Let today be the start of something new, and it's going to go right there. And I thought, there it is. Oh, my husband couldn't get the dog in her crate, so she's running all over the place. Just going to hope she doesn't start barking. All right, and we're going to put this right here. I got to really trying to see where, I'm going to put this right on the edge so I can see the black line. Okay. Kind of sweating that out. All right, now I gotta get that glue out. I'll get it out later. I'm not doing any more on the front till I'm done because it'll just make it harder with embellishments. This is the inside, and I need to stamp before I can score. And you'll see why in a minute. So I need to make sure I'm right in the center. A little bit. Okay. That looks centered. All right, and I'm using Pear Pizzazz for the stems. Where's that center mark? This is what happens when you're so used to scoring things, and all of a sudden you're not. Really messing up my perspective of doing this. And we're just going to put the leaves, and then we'll stamp the tulip tops. Oh, I actually had grass to put on the bottom. You're not really going to see the grass, but I'll know it's there. Oops. You're not really going to see that. All right. That's one tulip. My other tulip fell off. Oh, here it is. Well, that's not good. I hope it stays on when I'm stamping. And I'm using Petal Pink. And I'm really hoping Petal Pink doesn't go away. Petal Pink's one of my favorites. And I'm stamping the darker one first so I can see where to put the inside. I've tried doing it the other way, and then you can't see it. You can barely see it because Petal Pink stamped off is very light. And I know I said this last week, a lot of my ink pads need to be re-inked, and I'm just holding off. All right, and then I got to go back, get this back in the center. And I'm going to stamp just Happy Mother's Day. And these are all, everything is from the Flowering Tulip set. Okay. So good. So far I'm staying straight. Now I can score it. We're going to score it at 4 1/4, just like your regular card base. I did use thick basic white for this. Oh no, I didn't, because I'm putting another layer. So regular basic white. And I don't usually do that. I usually use thick basic white whenever I'm going to use white. But because there's going to be another whole layer, yeah, that needed a matte. Oh well. Next one. Now, the inside panel is right here. And this one, I did start to score. It scored it 2 1/8 on each side. So I just put it in, scored it 2 1/8, and then scored it again. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to score it at 4 1/4, but I'm only going to score it like 3/4 of an inch. There. And I'm taking my deckled rectangle die, and I gotta make sure I get it all centered again. And I'm going to cut this out from the center. And that's why I did the just partial, because this centerpiece, I can use it for something. And I just need a piece of Post-it tape just to hold it in place, because we know what happens when I move. So I'm just gonna go over, I'm gonna cut it with my trimmer. I'll be right back. I need to check. Yep, I went through. Take that off carefully. I don't want to rip it. So these, the 2 1/8 inch score lines, are going to be valley folds. So we're just going to keep putting my bone folder away, and I need it. Okay, and then the 4 1/4 inch one is going to be a mountain fold. And we are going to adhere these two panels, which are 2 inches by 5 3/8. Measurements will all be on my blog on Friday, creativestampindesigns.com. And again, I'm going to go back. I haven't looked up, obviously, in quite quite some time, so I don't know if anybody's leaving comments or... Oh my. Okay, we ran out of glue. There we go. That's going to go like that. A little crooked there. There we go. And that is why I use liquid glue. Oh, I still need that glue. Now, we are going to adhere this inside the card. Oops. Should open the card base first. And it is the exact size. It's 8.5 by 5.5. So I'm going right to the edge with it. This is why I didn't use the thick basic white, because it's 2 layers of the basic white. So I figured it would be thick enough. And then we're going to do the other side. Now you can use the Seal Plus, or you can use tear and tape. You want something strong to hold this. Okay, I have to do this kind of in the air. There you have it. I'm supposed to have a mat on the outside, and I forgot that, but it works. I'm still going to embellish it. And then the inside pops up. It's like a little tunnel card. Oops. So, I don't know what's wrong here. Hang on. All right, so I am going to... On the outside, I had 2 choices. I was either going to put a bow, which I don't know if it's going to be too big, and then I have just a little knot. And I'm putting that because just in case I'm off a little bit, which I'm actually not, I'm right on with that. I just tied a knot with the, I think it's the soft polyester ribbon. What's it called? Yeah, the soft polyester ribbon, and it's the petal pink. And we're just going to put a little glue dot. Oops. And we're going to put embellishments, and we're putting embellishments on the inside and the outside, and so we're just going to put the glue dot and put the knot down. Sorry. If I had a guess, I'm going to guess the mailman is here. Okay, and I have the champagne rhinestones. I'm really hoping... Oh my goodness, sorry. She's a very fierce dog, can you tell? I'm really hoping these stick around. Here. There, and we'll put a little larger one. Oops, if I can lift it. On the outside, and from the outside it doesn't look all, it's a card, but then when you open it up, it just pops. And I have a couple butterflies to put on the inside, because I just needed to put something on the inside. And I can do it, because like I tell everybody that comes to my classes, it's your card, you do what you want. So I only have the little, I don't know if I have any of the, another pack of these butterflies. I'm getting low on a lot of things, and I don't want to replenish until, like I said, until I know that. So what do you think? All right, let me do the envelope real quick and we'll be done. So I already colored some of the tulips on here. So we're just going to adhere this to the envelope flap. She's quieting down. She is a real watchdog. I mean, anybody comes near the house, the barking starts. And the growling. Now, if they come in the house, she might run behind me, but... And I am not used to a barker. Had a quick trim. I'm going to stamp a tulip on the front, and we'll call it a day. Oops. All right, where's all my stuff? Pear Pizzazz is another one that I like. Well, I've said this before. I like the subtle colors. You'll have paper towel here somewhere, because otherwise it's going to be messy. I mean, I like the brights. I like the regals, but I really like the subtles. So I'm going to be very sorry if any of these go. Oh my goodness. All right. And I'm not stamping the grass on the bottom of this one because that grass is giving me a hard time. Petal pink. And where's the inside? There we go. Oh, that one you can see a little bit better. It's, like I said, it's very light. Okay. So a nice spring Mother's Day card. And I think mothers always deserve that little extra pop for their cards. Like I said, my original plan was to have a mat around this, and I forgot it, and I'm not lifting that up, because that would be very messy to lift up. So I will have all the measurements and the directions along with a link to my video on Friday. It goes live about 8 o'clock. And I will plan on being here next week with, like I said, I already have I know the card I want to make. I need to put the set with it and the DSP with it to put it together. Right? Thanks for joining today, and I hope to see you next week. Thanks, everyone. Have a great week. And don't forget, if there's colors or anything that you really like, now is a great time to start stocking up before they announce what's going, because once they announce what's going, everything, people jump on it, grab it, and then even now, once, like the in colors, once they're gone, they're not replenishing anything. So keep that in mind. All right? Have a great week, everyone. I'll see you next week, I hope. Bye-bye.